Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Bigger Than Race. You know who this is. This is your boy, Brando, bringing you another classic hit. We're talking about one of the biggest sectors known to man. We're talking about some of everything, the Internet of Things, IoT, AI, underpinning the fourth and fifth industrial revolution, ladies and gentlemen. This project that I'm going to bring to you, I feel is next level. I feel like it is bringing the evolution of connectability and interoperability with devices, cameras, robots, cars, buildings, trash cans, parking garages, drones, computers, anything, autonomous vehicles, Tesla cars, cameras all around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you another whiz pick, NATIX, N-A-T-I-X. Ladies and gentlemen, the price is right and the project is ripe for explosion. All we are waiting on is the timing of this narrative and trend to come full throttle, and we shall see this thing climb the ranks from where it is now to where it will be. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for tuning in. I just want to thank you for riding with your boy. But without further ado, let's dive on in. Peace and blessings to you all. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we have NATIX, a global mapping network of smart cameras. Now, you might have seen me talk about this project, not going too in depth with it, but just giving you a little bit of a sprinkle of a gem if you're paying attention. But a global mapping network of smart cameras. Join the world's largest AI camera network, DePIN, and earn. And you can start earning. Now, this is some of their network stats right here. They got 258,000 registered drivers. They got KM maps, 193 million. Map data detected, 1 billion. And they're operating in 171 countries, it looks like. Their coverage map here actually can give us more insight on that. But personally, I don't even want to delve too much into this, but their numbers are good. We want to see these numbers, and this shows you everywhere they are, all over the world. So they're sprinkled out. But let's go back to the main site. So once we scroll down, we come to the partners page. And this is important because a lot of these partners that you see here are doing things to advance how we're going to move and transform the mobility industries. A lot of those industries have to do with Uber-like companies, rideshare companies, Amazon, because they have so many deliveries, and companies like Grab. Grab is a rideshare company, very huge in the emerging markets. I was using Grab in Singapore. They use it for everything. They could buy food, order food like we do here with DoorDash and Uber Eats. Same thing. Big deal. And I want you to pay attention to that partnership specifically. But we see here NVIDIA, Amazon, Peak. Peak is a big deal in the DePIN sector. Grab Maps, Solana, XYO. We know they do a lot within, I think, geospatial. We brought that to you earlier on. Necto Labs, Travelcom, Demo. We have Edis, Eon, The Hague, GeoNet, Draeger, TZL, and the list goes on. But we come back down to their website. We see they have their product. It's a new product. The products are necessary. This proves that, they have a working product that they can go out and market and show that they have a real use case. In this case, they have this product, NATIX VX360, for Tesla cars. You can monetize your Tesla's 360 camera footage. Simple plug and earn design. Contribute to a better and safer world. You can learn more here, and we are going to learn a bit more. But Solana's NATIX and Grab team up to expand DePIN mapping into US, Europe. Grab is a huge deal. As you can see here, they have the Grab food. They're delivering food. And in emerging markets, a lot of these delivery drivers have motorbikes. But we're going to come here to learn a bit more about Tesla, because there's going to be a nice video for you as well. But you can access and monetize your Tesla via VX360 camera and just purchase it for $350. Okay, very affordable, connected to your car, In your car, your Tesla can start earning for you. VX360 is a Web3 project brought to you by NATIX Network. 230K drivers, 140 million mapped. Now, what is NATIX VX360 for Teslas? This video is going to explain it way better than I can.
Did you know your Tesla's cameras can actually create extremely valuable data? No? Well, I'm glad you drive. This is the VX360, a tiny device doing something big. It turns your car's forward-built-in cameras into a force for smarter roads and safer autonomous driving, which is partly the reason why we're able to shoot this commercial without having any driver. Okay, but we're not really there yet. But you can help us get there.
Me?
Yeah, you. Your car's data can help build real-time maps, train AI for self-driving cars, and improve how we all get around.
Wait, what's in it for me?
Crypto rewards, baby. Now, whose car are we taking today?
Mine!
Okay, calm down, guys. You, let's drive. With the VX360, you can manage and access your trip recordings anywhere. Hey, eyes on the road, red lights coming up.
Sorry.
So if an accident occurs, the 360 video comes in handy for insurance scams. No. We got that on 360 video, my friend. Sorry. VX360 isn't just a device. It's a way to drive into the future. A way to welcome smarter driving, powered by you. And that's why I'm glad you drive.
Wow. Now, if that doesn't smell and feel like the future, I don't know what. Beautiful product. You can control your footage, you can plug and earn, you can change the world for the better. All while purchasing this VX360 camera for $350. This is bullish. You can easily access your footage. Your trip and Sentry footage is captured by your Tesla's front, side, and rear cameras, giving you a 360 view of your surroundings. Easily manage your recordings directly on your smartphone with the VX360 companion app. Perfect for fleet management capabilities, incident documentation, and more. This is a big deal. Earn rewards for driving. Turn your trips into crypto token rewards and non-crypto benefits based on activity and contribution, which can be monitored via the VX360 companion app. As you earn, your data is monetized to fuel better mapping initiatives and safer ADAS, Advanced Driver Assistance Systems applications. Return on your investment is expected to be within 3 to 6 months. That's actually not bad. That is actually not bad. You know, they're big on privacy, no access to internal camera, no access to your Tesla's cabin camera, AI anonymization, AI algorithm blurs personally identifiable information in the uploaded footage. Define your private zones. Set a radius around your house, office, or anywhere sacred to you. That's coming soon. And this is ready to go in no time, guys. So you just plug in your V60, connect the V60 to the companion app, access and download your footage, and boom! Wham bam! Thank you, ma'am. How NATIX uses your camera's footage, making for fresher maps. So they're gonna enhance the mapping within the Tesla's cameras, heighten the sensory so that it picks up any little thing. So if you see a rat drop a dropping, it's gonna pick up that. Traffic signs, speed limits, stop signs, and more. Traffic lights, road conditions, potholes, and road distress. Other important road/map features. Scenario generation for self-driving stack. So you can see how cars here, you can see the footage behind the car, in front of the car, side of the car. You see the biker here, boom. And if you have a Tesla, you know, like their map on Tesla, it just looks like a whole video game, like you're driving in a simulation. So this is just ultimately helps take everything to another level. You could power and precision all in one. You have the NATIX VX360 companion app, crypto earning, social sharing, gamified experience, cloud storage, over 20 hours. Boom. Great product. Okay. And then these are all of the Tesla drivers using this product, giving them their testimonials, which is a bullish thing. Now, I need to come back to the NATIX website, and I want to come over here, highlight the mission behind NATIX, which is empowering people to create a decentralized dynamic map of the world. Decentralized mapping economy. NATIX incentives users to map their surroundings using their smartphone or Tesla 360 cameras. This data powers autonomous driving efforts, more accurate maps, and better driver assistant applications. Now, I'm not sure if you know how important and how big that camera industry is, but globally there's 800 plus billion cameras, and cameras are all over the world. These phones definitely got cameras, Alexas, cars, CCTVs, the list goes on. But enabled by NATIX's Internet of Cameras, we seek to create the largest crowdsourced camera network ever. Our technology enables any camera to become an AI-powered super sensor. Our AI and edge on-device computing technology ensure privacy and security. Personal and sensitive information never leaves the device. Now, this is bullish, and it makes sense on why NATIX partnered with and is backed by IoTeX, which is the Internet of Things, the Internet of Everything, and they're specifically targeting cameras. I think IoTeX is bigger than what is led on, and I certainly think NATIX is going to have a big play in what they're doing. Now, you can see here they got the cameras, they got the drones, they got the phones. What else do they have here? Drones. How it works: the fastest, cheapest, and most scalable way to crowdsource live data and create a digital twin of our environments. So they have data collection. Our AI software analyzes video streams in real time to detect a wide range of events. The collected data is in the form of plain text and free of any personally identifiable information. The data validation. NATIX Network technology employs multiple decentralized data validation techniques to confirm the accuracy and authenticity of the data, ensuring its reliability and trustworthiness, because you gotta have that. You can monetize the data. The data is monetized via our marketplace to facilitate real-time applications. Market demand determines the data worth, leading the camera owners being rewarded for their contributions. Now, again, I'm breaking this down by what's on the website, and we're gonna connect the dots here because this is a deep dive, and we're gonna show you these 6 degrees of separation and why we just think that this is a bullish asset, and nobody really knows that it exists like that. Let's play this explainer video. Open and real-time geospatial intelligence. And those who know about the spatial industry and that whole sector over there, that geospatial, you know that it is the future, and it is going to be a big thing. Let's go.
Video information is a rich source of data, effectively empowering smart cities to sense the streets at micro levels. Currently, there exists a global network of 45 billion cameras, smartphones, drones, cars, and CCTV cameras that are capable of producing exabytes of rich data every day. Combined with artificial intelligence, this network can optimize urban traffic, detect crime and violence, or monitor road conditions. But now, only less than 10% of this video data is being analyzed. Well, we're about to change that. Cameras are increasingly equipped with AI-accelerated chips, enabling them to run AI on the device and in real time. They can now detect traffic congestion or crowd dynamics right on the device. There is no need to send exabytes of video data to the cloud infrastructure thousands of kilometers away, process the video there, send the insight back to the streets, and clog the internet pipelines. NATIX is taking advantage of these cameras to create the first crowdsourced smart camera infrastructure. By installing NATIX's software, any camera can become a smart device, collect data, and support smart city and mobility applications. And the camera owners earn rewards by providing the infrastructure and the data. With NATIX, our cities benefit from remarkably lower infrastructure costs, wider coverage of data collection, privacy compliance, and a people-powered infrastructure that supports an infinite number of smart city and mobility applications. This is the next generation of camera infrastructure. This is NATIX.
You heard it from them. The next infra. So the VX360 for your Tesla footage. We already know about that. We can see the world as NATIX cameras map it. And we've already looked at the map, but it's definitely extensive on how many places they are collecting all of that data. Now the NATIX tokens is a crypto economy fueled by a 250 billion geospatial data market. The utility token stands at the core of the NATIX ecosystem as the unit of account for network level activity. It is the means of payment and the source of staking benefits. They also have a NATIX Island token that's coming. You can earn crypto by acquiring the NATIX Island token, a part of the global tile map. As the owner, you're entitled to a royalty fee for any data transactions occurring on your land. Now these we can go deeper into. We can explore a little bit more of the utility, but I definitely want to highlight these investors because, as I said, the NATIX is the lifeblood powering NATIX Network. We can see from the data consumer, reward allocations, detector, data generation, X node, data transfer back to the consumer, utilities, in-app utilities, rewards and perks, staking, participation in network, system governance. Here is the white paper, which I already have up. We will go through that a bit. And here's our tokenomics that we have on screen. Public sale, reserve, 5.1%. Early backers got 25%. And then here's the Island token, which is coming later. But let's go back to the investors. Okay, they've got some heavy hitter investors. Blockchain, Borderless Capital, Tiga Capital, Digital Currency Group, Crypto.com, Big Brain Holdings, WAGME, Laser Digital, Inception, Moonrock, Plug and Play, Eevee, Grab, Necto Labs, CVC, Coin, IX, Techstars, Mulana, XYO, Future Money Group, IoTex, Black Arm, Angels, Crypto Banter, Figment Capital, BlackRock, Paul Taylor, BitGet, Gracie Chen, and Bits Crunch. Some heavy hitters. NATIX has recently can continuously drop updates on their products and their progress, and they have just kept the community abreast of everything that they have going on. Now I want to skate over to this white paper because honestly speaking, when I read the introduction to this white paper alone, it just stood out to me. It confirmed to me why I was so bullish in the first place and I invested. And for the record, I'm already holding this token and I'm going to continue to buy more as we are definitely at the bottom. But the introduction says today, mapping and geospatial data provide services beyond navigation. The technologies provide the insights to plan efficient transport routes, manage city zoning for business planning, or for people to experience places where they're not physically present. Let me say that again. For people to experience places where they're not physically present. With the recent advancements in artificial intelligence and sensor technology, e.g. cameras and LiDARs, maps can visualize a broader range of dynamic and real-time information, such as a road congestion, crowd size, and available parking spots. Such dynamic maps enable a new era of smart city and smart mobility applications ranging from crowd management to autonomous driving. This innovation is expected to grow the geospatial solutions market to $845 billion by 2029. Bullish. That's just the intro. We can go a lot deeper, but they have whole strategies on why they want to dominate through smartphones, which just creates their camera network faster overnight. And they're like the Uber of cameras. Just like Uber doesn't own any cars but has a ride-sharing company, NATIX has no cameras but has a camera company. make that make sense. And you know what? As a matter of fact, you guys definitely should come through here and read this white paper, because there's some informative info in here. Like, for example, DePINs, which can be described as the Uber and Airbnb of digital and physical infrastructure, harness the power of blockchain technology to crowdsource and tokenize digital storage, computer network, and physical infrastructure, sensors, telecommunication, robots, etc., enabling a decentralized and democratized approach to infrastructure management. Therefore, scalability potential is most important for DePINs. Smartphones offer unmatched scalability for decentralized applications. Onboarding a device to a network is as simple as installing an app. Unlike purpose-built hardware, this approach allows users to become part of the network immediately and without any upfront cost, effectively lowering the barrier to entry to nearly zero. All you got to do is own a phone. All you have to do is own the phone. Now, I know some of you might be wondering what the price is currently. The price is 0009067. 19 million market cap, 21 billion circulating supply, 100 billion max supply. This thing can shoot up. From here, it can shoot up. Let's see. All-time high, penny 6. Looks like penny 6 or 0016. Perfect time to buy. It will just sit stagnant here, and it has no choice but to go up unless something drastically happens. But based on the chart and the analysis of it, it's a good time to buy. So I'm only presenting it to you as an option. Many of you in the past were into DAV Network, and I still am, still holding and still waiting. I don't know what's going on with it, but I feel like if World Liberty Financial can send you a token and make it not tradable and then make it retradable, I feel like certain projects can come back from the dead, and they didn't even say they were dead, or they haven't even made any announcements to the community saying that, you know, we're going to be stopping this, that, and the third. No, DAV Network work is still kicking. Why it doesn't translate to the price on the token, not sure. I think it's deeper. I just think we're not ready for it just yet. It's happening in stages. But what do I know? I could be wrong about it. They could just be dead. I don't know. But I'm willing to take the risk. And I'm willing to take the risk on NATIX. Now, many of you are probably asking, look, Rando, you talked about all this different stuff on their website, but what about the team? Because I'm looking at the website and I don't see the team. Well, we got to do a little more digging. Now, this article came up and I had to just highlight it real quick. Last week I spoke with Ali Reza God's PhD, CEO of NATIX Network, about their product vision and the role of DePIN in the future of work. Just days later, on May 27th, NATIX launched the Street Vision Subnet, Subnet 72, on BitTensor, a major leap for decentralized AI. It processes 360-degree real-world data from NATIX's Tesla fleet, powered by Grab, to enhance an autonomous driving, map making, and physical AI, with continuously refined models flowing back to the network. The market noticed, the NATIX token responded, reaching all-time highs today. So yes, utility wins. Yeah, utility wins until it doesn't. Excuse me. So we are back here on this article. Also, we need to come here to turning Tesla's cameras into data engines. This was another article. DePIN hardware device from Hamburg-based NATIX Network allows Tesla drivers to monetize their travel. They're not playing. This is very real. Now, we come back to IoTeX. And IoTeX is a blockchain platform designed to connect Internet of Things devices with decentralized applications. It aims to create a secure and scalable environment for machine-to-machine interactions, facilitating the integration of real-world data from trusted devices with on-chain applications. The platform's native token, IoTeX, is used for transactions, staking, governance, and registering new devices on the network. IoTeX also backed them, and IoTeX is where AI touches life. IoTeX is everything. And I pointed out to you guys sometime in the chat and Telegram what's happening with these moves with this industry. I had a brain fart for a second there. And we talked about how monumental IoTex is going to play in the infrastructure of these systems that are being set up. This infrastructure that's going to be rolled out. This is going to be a heavyweight. Don't sleep on it. So I like NATIX for that reason, because of its connection, but I also like it for its integration into BitTensor, which is leveraging decentralized AI for autonomous driving and smart map making. BitTensor is known to be the decentralized AI of the world. Not SingularityNet, but BitTensor. Matter of fact, there's a lot of influential people in the AI sector that think that whole SingularityNet crypto thing is all a joke. They laugh. But here, DePIN, Decentralized Physical AI, is emerging as the next big paradigm shift in artificial intelligence, where decentralized networks power the training, validation, and inference of AI models on real-world physical data. Jensen Huang, CEO of NVIDIA, recently highlighted that the shift from generative AI to agentic AI marks a turning point toward physical AI, autonomous cars, and robots, mapping the world, made possible with NATIX Internet of Cameras, introducing the Street Vision on subnet powered by NATIX on BitTensor. It's a big deal. Street Vision first use case, road work detection for safer roads and autonomous driving. Why BitTensor? BitTensor is a decentralized compute protocol that enables open, permissionless training and inferences of AI models. Unlike centralized AI platforms, BitTensor incentivizes a global network of miners and validators to build and refine machine learning models, all while competing to deliver the most accurate and useful outputs. With the Street Vision subnet on BitTensor, incubated by Yuma and inspired by BitMine's innovative open source AI architecture, we're turning this massive decentralized data stream into useful insights for map making, infrastructure monitoring, and autonomous driving. Big deal. This can go on, and I could keep you here for longer than an hour, and I think that's even too long for some of you. Now, people, they're like, Brando, you showed us the website. I looked at the website. It's good and all, but I didn't see any team members. Don't worry, I got that covered for you. We've come here, we can see their C-level co-founder and CEO at NATIX. They're in Hamburg, Germany. Ali Reza is the co-founder and CEO. COO Lorenz. George, marketing. Andrea, CFO. Merhat Mardad, senior full stack dev. Omid, co-founder. Damontes, strategic advisor. And we can go a little bit deeper into the people who work there by coming to LinkedIn, and we can see that there's about 41 people here that are linked to them. Now we would have to match them up to find which one is which, just to make sure that we are going after the right people. But from what I could see is they're on to something. They are on to something. And yeah, you can just come here and match it up, just see who's who, and then also sign up here and then you can check them out as well. But all I did was use Google, typed in NATIX team. Okay, very simple. We also have the IoTex ecosystem updates. We are thrilled and glad to see our early back DePIN project NATIX making huge progress and successfully closing the funding round. That was back in 2024, but nonetheless, NATIX is a real contender. It just has to get to the point of maturation. Here is the BitTensor website. I encourage you to come over here and see what it's all about, because there's a wealth of knowledge over here that I think anybody could benefit from. Not just me, anybody. Also, I'm going to take you back to DAV Network. You know, things happen in crypto. The thing that got me is they never said that they were leaving. So that just gives me the impression that they're going to come back at some point. When? I don't know. but we got to be in position regardless. Now I want to take you to the Mobi Alliance website. Some of you have seen this website before, and of course these sites do get upgraded. Mobi, building the Web3 economy. Mobi creates standards and builds the Web3 infrastructure for data spaces, interoperability, and IoT commerce. Let's take a look at what Mobi does, and we can see all of their community that some of them we just talked of: IoTex, Bloxamove, BMW. The list goes on and on. You can see a lot of partners, especially from crypto. A lot of crypto partners. So let's see what Mobi does and how they make money.
Mobi and the Web3 economy. Mobi is a global nonprofit Web3 consortium. Along with our members, we're working to build the trusted digital economy by creating standards and developing the infrastructure to enable interoperability through self-sovereign data and self-sovereign identity, or SSI. Our goal is to make the digital economy more efficient, equitable, decentralized, and circular, while ensuring data privacy for all. The convergence of emerging technologies, including AI, IoT, and blockchains, permits any connected entity, such as a person, vehicle, business, or thing, to have a trusted identity and participate as an autonomous agent in digital transactions.
Everybody gets a token.
Trusted identity linked with location into a verifiable trip creates a pay-as-you-go economy. The ability to have cross-industry interoperability along with trusted autonomous transactions and the capability to pay as you go for services are fundamentals of the Web3 economy. Web3 will unleash an unprecedented level of automation and business efficiency. Over the past decade, organizations worldwide have been eager to get a head start in this new ecosystem. However, enterprise proof of concept experiments have lacked scalability and extensibility. There were a few reasons for this. First, the ecosystem lacked globally accepted standards for Web3 transactions. Second, although the proof of concept experiments used decentralized technologies, they were built on centralized platforms, which lack the interoperability needed for low-cost, frictionless scaling. Third, the infrastructure needed to unlock the exciting world of Web3 did not exist and needed to be built. Mobi was launched in 2018 to address these challenges and work with our members towards the common goal of trusted digital commerce. Mobi is entirely member-funded. Since formation, Mobi has created numerous member-directed working groups, developed over 20 standards, and completed many multi-party pilots and minimum viable products, with more underway. Mobi members are developing the first enterprise Web3 infrastructure composed of federated networks, member-built and operated, called Setopia and the Integrated Trust Network, or ITN. Setopia and ITN are built on open standards by the World Wide Web Consortium, verifiable credentials, and decentralized identifiers, respectively. Together, Setopia and the ITN offer a robust and standardized framework for a decentralized marketplace with interoperability and secure communication across the connected ecosystem, equipping stakeholders with the ability to perform zero trust authentication, selective disclosure for data security and privacy without the need to store data before, during, or after transactions, near real-time transaction verification, application scalability and extensibility. Public and private organizations are invited to join Mobi in developing, testing, and driving adoption for the Web3 economy. Together, we can shape a future where trust is inherent in every transaction, empowering individuals and businesses alike to navigate the digital landscape with confidence and peace of mind.
Yeah, where's this thing at? Okay, yeah, here. So this document specifies the first standard for Mobi vehicle identity, VID, which represents the principal digital foundation of future mobility. The vehicle identification number, VIN, a current vehicle identity system, is insufficient for the digitization of many mobility use cases, such as maintenance history, usage-based insurance, microtransactions, and ultimately the creation of a vehicle self-sovereign digital twin. A self-sovereign digital twin, or SSDT, is a digital twin that can automatically authenticate its identity and selectively disclose pertinent data for Web3 transactions at the edge without the need to connect to centralized databases. The complete VID and its immutable data can be employed by connected and future autonomous vehicles and the IoT infrastructure that will support them. The VID is defined as an authoritative form of identity that can be cryptographically verified. Central to this system is a vehicle linked to its unique VID. This VID established at the vehicle's inception includes the vehicle birth certificate and is indexed by a unique vehicle identifier. Key stakeholders involved in this system comprise the owner, lien holder, and the original equipment manufacturer, OEM, and government entities such as motor vehicle authorities. Each party may have wallets containing their digital certificates, which unambiguously define their relationship with the vehicle. So this VID operates as the vehicle's distinctive identifier, facilitating its interaction with various mobility networks. These networks offer services like toll payments, parking, congestion, pricing, and more. A key advantage of this connected vehicle ecosystem compared to traditional methods is its capacity to authenticate the source and origin of data through the use of decentralized identity and verifiable claims. The data owner has the option to participate in a data marketplace, thereby monetizing the vehicle data that they decide to share. That's a big deal. All of this is connected. I could go even beyond and deeper, but this video right here of this CEO from NATIX breaking down and giving a great overview on how NATIX is unlocking the power of AI and crowdsourced data. This needs to be watched. So I'm gonna play a little bit of it.
Maybe before diving a bit more deeper into the topic, you can give us a quick introduction to yourself as the founder and also what NATIX Network is up to.
Yeah, so co-founder, CEO at NATIX. Background, I have a PhD in wireless communication. The specialization of my PhD was localization algorithms. So worked a lot with IoT systems. Started my career in the autonomous driving industry because they were the ones paying the bills for IoT back in 2013. And we were working on building local dynamic maps and high precision localization engine for autonomous cars using different technologies: camera, lidar, radio frequency, GPS or RTK. 2020 we founded NATIX. It started as a computer vision AI company. Computer vision is a subcategory of machine learning, deep learning for processing videos and images. We started to build our products around CCTV cameras or IP cameras, these cameras that you see on public and commercial properties. Built a couple of products, crowd monitoring, parking monitoring, made actually over $300,000 of revenue in the first year. And then we pivoted into NATIX Network. Reason being, we very soon realized camera is what I call a king of sensors. Actually, this was quote unquote what Masari report on DePIN 2025 was saying. And I've been telling Sal for a very, very long time. Essentially, when you combine it with computer vision AI, I would say, the use cases are limitless. You can do a lot of environmental perception with it. That's why Tesla has been betting on cameras for a very long time. And it's cheap as well. It's relatively accessible. It's a cheap sensor. So that's why I call it king of sensors. And we realized we wanted to have the largest camera infrastructure in the world, smart camera infrastructure, without owning a single camera. And within that, the perfect go-to model was token incentivized, digital or physical infrastructure. So DePIN, what is today umbrellaed as DePIN. Back in the time, we used to say we're building the Helium for smart cameras.
Yeah, I think in general,
that's a big deal.
I also say this week I finally got into DePIN for real. I got my first DePIN hardware. Maybe you know the weather XM station that is collecting weather information. So really nice to see like something holding in hand. But I know generally NATIX is having a different approach with the smartphones. And how do you see that basically playing out in the market from a larger perspective, and looking at everybody has a smartphone nowadays, everybody constantly is holding in one, and comparing it with buying this hardware, setting it up, and all of this cost structure. Do you think that that's kind of the path where DePIN is leading, or looking at different founders and entrepreneurs in the space, like where do they look first? Do they look at what's already out there, or should we establish something new? Generally, what's your thought about that process?
Very good and controversial question. So look, I'm not against hardware if there is a use case for hardware. A good example is GeoNet. They have an RTK receiver, and you don't have this on a smartphone. You don't have this on what we call commodity hardware. So okay, you need to build a, let's say, application-specific device for this and distribute it towards the community, essentially, and build the network, right? But there are other sensors that they're very easily, crowdsourced by tapping into commodity hardware. Camera is one of them. I mean, you find a camera in a lot of devices already out there. There is one in your smartphone camera. That was the shortest Euclidean distance for us to tap into. There are multiple cameras in your cars. That's our newest product that we have launched. We're tapping into 360 video data or camera from Tesla. So one front, two sides, and one rear camera, 4 cameras in total. There are cameras in your drones. There are similar projects that are tapping into it. So in our case, there are a lot of commodity hardwares that have a camera, and building a application-specific, device was not really needed. And in case of, for example, smartphones, they already have a lot of other sensors and let's say pieces that we need. It has compute power, it has a storage, it has GPS, gyroscope, IMU, all kind of the sensory bundle that we need in order to collect, let's say, data as well as other useful metadata around it, rich data, let's say. So I would always say if there is opportunity for commodity hardware, then that should be the way to go. Now, even with our Tesla hardware, I would still call it commodity, because if you wanted to build a 360 hardware, so let's say a camera that can capture 360 imagery and videos, this would have costed us over $2,000-$3,000 bill of material at the end of the day. So with a $250, $270 device, we're tapping into something that already exists, which costs much more for us to build. And this is, again, the same narrative of, tapping into existing infrastructure or commodity hardware.
And looking at from the perspective of both a user of the network, but also businesses on how to kind of engage with the protocol. If you look at the end user, I think, generally I get an idea by looking at the platform, but also, recently I see there is some interesting partnerships coming up, also by the tweets there. But looking at from both an individual perspective and a business perspective, how do I engage with the protocol, and what would be the value I would be looking for?
So we have 3-4 use cases that we are right now actively monetizing in terms of the data of the protocol. We started with mapping, building better maps or helping companies to build more fresher maps, essentially, of our world. This is how we started. Then with VX360, so this Tesla hardware, we started unlocking a couple of new use cases. The second use case that we unlocked, and we are right now working on it very heavily, actually working with autonomous driving companies, is we use the 360 video data for training, testing, and validation of autonomous driving stack, right? How does that work? When you train the system, including the AI, you need to rely on real world data. There are new kind of frameworks that they rely on synthetic data, which is fine, but even that synthetic model to generate that kind of synthetic real world data, it needs real world data to train on, right? So in one way or another for training, we need real world 360 video data, which is, our bread and butter with VX360. The other one is testing and validation. Now, once you train your model and you build it, now you need to use real world data to test and validate it, right? Even if it's synthetic, you definitely cannot validate again with synthetic data, right? Because if you make your model with AI generated data and validate it with AI generated data, then how do you know the accuracy of your model? Like you don't know if it performs really good in these, we call them edge cases in the real world, right? Suddenly there's a bear on the side of the road and it decides to step onto the road, and you want to be able, these are edge cases, what we call them. So you need to validate your system with real world data. This is again where the NATIX 360 video data comes in, and there is huge lack of real world data within, autonomous driving, within physical AI. It's like one of the biggest pain points, Aaron. I'm talking with a lot of these guys, and the common denominator is two problems: compute and real world data. For compute, they have NVIDIA, they all say it actually, they have NVIDIA on the cap table on all of them. That's how they're trying to address compute. For real world data, they're still struggling. And this is where I think DePIN is the solution to provide real world data at scale. So autonomous driving is another one. Then there's a new use case that we have unlocked. I think hopefully very, very soon we're going to show some really, really cool, let's say, POCs and findings and really cool prototypes around it. Is for physical AI. So as you guys saw, the CEO of NVIDIA announced that we're going from agentic AI to physical AI. That's the future. So robots and autonomous cars. And one of the foundations of physical AI is perception. So how they perceive the world and how they're interacting with it, how they're placing themselves in the physical world, and how they're interacting with the surroundings. For this, actually, we're using NATIX's data to do 3D reconstruction of the world, and then use another technology called a visual positioning system in order for the robots or autonomous cars to locate themselves very precisely in the world, so in 3D, and be able to interact with the world. So many use cases. It can be shared mobility use cases. It can be autonomous driving for the car to drive around, or it can be something a little bit more, let's say, in between, which is augmented navigation. I'm not sure if you saw, but Google acquired the company. They do really cool product in terms of augmented navigation, where, let's say, from the camera, from the front camera that you have on the car, you can actually see exactly where to go in 3D space. Or I think a B2C use case of it is Google Street Maps. They are using
some of these maps. They just make me feel too nervous. Like I feel like I'm too much in a video game.
the same technology where you want to navigate yourself, you're walking around, you can lift off your phone, and then they can do this augmented navigation. It's the same technology. It's using visual positioning system, and the backbone for that is 3D reconstruction and the data that we're providing, the 360 data that you're providing. Yeah, so map building, autonomous driving, and physical AI, the perception side of it are three of the hot use cases we're working on as we speak within NATIX.
Yeah, also looking back, I think it was maybe a year ago we connected at first, and obviously DePIN was a big topic last year as well, and I know we also had you contributing to our latest report in terms of the predictions, but yeah, I mean, now we're here in 2025, and also I think it will be a strong year for DePIN, not only this year, but as we move forward. But what do you think are the main points to think of as a DePIN business this year, and what do you think in terms of, we're having a positive market now. Do you think that is the main driver for adoption for DePIN this year, or do we need something else to kind of cross the chasm, basically?
What I'm very bullish on within DePIN is what I call data curation networks. You remember a few seconds ago we were talking about lack of real-world data. This is what we need to achieve a functional, at-scale physical AI, so robots and autonomous cars. So data curation networks are extremely hot, in my opinion. It's going to be the year for them. They're extremely undervalued. They have what it takes for physical AI to be reached. And that's why, you know, a lot of these large companies, honestly, they don't care if you're a crypto affiliate project or not. They need, I mean, you know, the AI war that is happening, right? They need the data, and they just want it. So they're more startup-y actually. So they don't care if you have a crypto affiliated, because, you know, 5-7 years ago, if you had a crypto affiliated with your project, even 3-4 years ago, it was extremely difficult to sell something to corporates. Right now, it's just something that we have, and they cannot get their hands on it elsewhere. So that's where I see there's going to be a lot of tractions within DePIN, and that's where I see DePIN will go, at least from B2B point of view, mainstream. I think from supply side point of view, DePIN has done very, very well. We have many DePINs that are hundreds of thousands of users or millions of users. So I'm not really worried about that. I think that takes time, and it's a flywheel effect, right? So the more we can get these big player guys to come in, the more value we can generate, and there's a value accrual towards the token. You know, this will flywheel into more users coming in and trying to supply the data. So yeah, very bullish on data curation network.
Yeah.
And I'm very bullish too, which is why I brought NATIX to your front door. Ladies and gentlemen, you will link this video so you can go and watch it for yourself, but I would encourage you to definitely come over here for yourself, do your own research, see why I'm bullish on this, and maybe, possibly, you might be able to get yourself in and ride this wave. Because I personally think there's nothing but upside from this point. And once these narratives hit in the way that we know they will, things like this can turn you into a zero, from a zero to a hero. Ladies and gentlemen, you know who this is. This is your boy, Brando. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one. Investigate truth on your own terms.